Bebop, are you a model for the Crawford County Road crew?
I am.
What, actually, why are you wearing that?
Because I just got off work.
I thought you changed jobs.
Not yet.
Oh, when does that happen?
Next week.
Hang on a minute. That's the cleanest I've ever seen someone leave that place.
He's the one that points his finger.
No, I don't get out the truck.
So he's like a foreman.
Basically.
Foreskin?
Yeah, foreskin.
Yes.
Oh. He doesn't smell like a foreskin.
You would know.
This sounds like...
you would know.
God damn it, I don't know what I was going to say there. This is DFWAI.
All right. That's good enough.
Listener discretion is advised.
You are now free to clog your ear holes. Clog your ear holes.
Very nice, very nice.
This is DFWAI, and I am Van, and that is...
Callie.
And that is... Oh! Okay. What the fuck? Got Sweet Pea right over here.
Sweet penis.
And Ghost. Oh, you're not going to say anything? Wow, what a bitch.
Back to this, back to this.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Fuck you then. Okay, so...
Lots of things have happened.
Hi,
Lots
Dad.
of things.
Yeah. Hi, Dad. Well, stepdad. Dad.
Sup, Ron?
Dad.
Hi, stepdad-in-law.
It sounds like you're coming on to him.
No, stepdad-in-law.
Jesus.
I'm stuck in the dryer. Help.
You know, next time you go down there, you're going to have to, like, go and get stuck in the dryer. It'd be like,
Oh,
Dad,
no,
help!
Stepdad-in-law.
For reference, I was pretending to be sweet penis over there. I was not.
Ew.
So what
Anyway.
we're getting at
Sorry,
here
Ron.
is
I'm not into
it has
that
come
guy.
to our attention that their father-in-law or their
Nope.
stepdad,
Yep.
my one day will be father-in-law, listens to this entire podcast.
one day you two can call him Daddy.
One yeah. Yeah.
I bet you could call him daddy now, but he probably wouldn't like it that much.
He'd just kind of give you a weird look and make a noise and then walk away.
Yeah. Not only does he listen to it, he is caught up, listened to every episode.
Apparently.
And has called Sweet Pea Sweet Penis.
That's how
in
we
person.
found out.
Yep.
Because
The man knows too much. He's got to die.
he straight looked at him and goes, or he looked at my mom and goes, do you listen? And she goes, hell no. I'm Lord Voldemort. And then we had to explain that away. And I said, he doesn't listen anymore. And he goes, I don't know, sweet penis. And I went, what the fuck? And Callie goes, okay, I'm done with the podcast. I can't do it anymore.
I am no longer going to be on the podcast from here on out. This is the last episode.
Yeah, bullshit it is.
He knows too much. He knows too much.
But it was a pretty sweet ordeal. When we got there, I was waiting on these losers to show up, which is weird because I'm always the last one to the party.
Well, we
And
were just going out to eat.
A Ferrari
at that point.
pulls in with a license plate that says hiring. So I get off the phone with Alyssa and I tell the kids, don't move from this spot. And I just approach the guy and I'm like, your plate says hiring.
Is that why you got off the phone early?
Yep.
That's part of it. I need a job, don't I?
And he
He's a
drives a
bitch.
Ferrari.
So I walked up to him and was just like, so your plate says hiring. Is that accurate? And he goes, I'm always hiring. And we talked for a minute. He gave me his contact info. And then Mom and Sarah and all these people show up and I point out the Ferrari. I'm like, yeah, I talked to the guy, you know, maybe I'll get to work with him or whatever. And who was like, you should see if you can sit in it. We'll take a picture. Was it Dad?
Probably.
And
wasn't over there for
then
that.
Sarah gives me these puppy dog eyes and goes, "You talked to him earlier, right? Can you see if I can sit in it?" And I was like, "I just talked to this guy about possibly getting a job."
But sure.
But yeah, let me go talk to him. And so I pulled him aside. I was like, "Hey, man, sorry to bother you again. But my sister just graduated and she's wondering if she could get a quick picture in the seat of your Ferrari." And he's like, "Yeah, man, go for it. That's
Let me
fine.
open the door.
Let me open the door." And she like gets in it, gets a picture. It was like the highlight of her night. She's like, "Fuck graduating. I just got to sit in a fucking Ferrari."
Well, the best part was she went to get out and she was like, can you open the door again? I don't know how to get out.
She gets out in tears, like complete happy tears, like, "Oh my God."
Was she actually?
Yeah, she
Yes.
was like, oh, like tears. Well,
No
whatever.
shit. I
Yeah,
missed that.
She was crying because she got to sit in a Ferrari.
That is too cool. I didn't realize it was that much of
Yep.
an ordeal.
But for all
It's
the
cool.
mothers out there, happy Mother's Day.
well,
Belated.
Late,
Yeah.
late, but happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Alyssa.
Oh, thank you.
What'd you get for Mother's
Happy
Day?
Mother's Day.
To work.
Safely.
With no children.
Ah, a vacation.
I wouldn't go that
I
far.
If she calls jail a vacation,
Okay, never mind.
Hang on a minute. When I was in jail, I didn't have to talk to anyone. Do you realize how many men I take care
You just
of
got
in the
strip
Wait
ICU?
a
searched.
damn second. You went to jail?
Yeah, she went. This was on the podcast.
When?
years ago.
Nate was like 10 months old.
Why were you going to jail?
Why are you sticking your hands up your shorts?
Gotta fix myself.
All right.
Don't look at me.
So prior to Nate being in existence, we purchased an Impala from Buy Here, Pay Here in Sullivan. And it had temp tags on it. And we were waiting for a paycheck to come through to go license the car. And the temp tag expired. And he pulled the temp tag out of the window and didn't tell me. So I drive through Leesburg and I get pulled over. And the cop comes up to my window and he's like, "Did you know you don't have any plates on this car?" I was like, "What are you talking about? There's a temp tag in the back window." And he's like, "No, there isn't." And I was like, "Yes, there is." And I turned around and I went, "That son of a bitch." He had pulled the temp tag out of the window because, according to him, he had spoken to cops and said that it was better to not have a tag on it at all than to keep the temp tag on the car after it's expired.
False.
I think it's
Legitimately, it was told that by a couple of police
Legitimately,
officers.
those police officers were trying
Dicks.
to entrap you.
Yeah, well, you know.
Entrapment.
So I got a ticket. Go to court in Leesburg, get my fine, like total. We are on the road at this point. It's after Nate's been born. Like, we hopped in the truck with him for
She paid
like
cash,
a year
mind
and a
you.
half. Well, I didn't pay for it yet.
Oh,
We hopped in the truck with him for like a year and a half. So this is now when we are in the truck. And I think my court happened after we got in the truck for various reasons. But I give cash to my mom and say, "Hey, next time you see someone at the, town hall," because Leesburg had a town hall at the time, which I guess they still do, but I don't know if it's still intermittent when someone's there. I was like, "When you see someone, can you go pay this ticket for me? Because we're going to be in like California." She was like, "Yeah, sure." So she went up, she paid the ticket. I don't know if she was given a receipt or what happened to the receipt. But a couple of months later,
not months. It was
like a year.
it was a couple of years because that wasn't the first place we moved into.
Yes,
after
it was.
that.
I got in the truck.
Okay, it was a while.
It was a while. It was at least a year later. We had moved into the house that we lived in on Marlette, down the road from your grandma. And I was walking Delilah to preschool, and our neighbor's dog was loose, and it like ran up and it bit my leg. And it left like a mark, and I might still have a scar from it. But so I called the cops, and I was like, "Hey, I don't want anything to happen to this dog, but can you go like knock on the neighbor's door and tell them to put their dog away, because they're not going to fucking listen to me."
Right.
Leash, backyard.
Yeah, leash,
they had
yeah.
a fenced-in fucking backyard.
Put them in the yard.
Put them in the yard.
Let them know that their
Stop
dog
letting it run
bit someone.
crazy, because it would run after people constantly. It was a little chihuahua.
It was a beagle, but
Either
Still
way.
small.
it was a small dog, but it was an asshole. So when the police officer came to like get the information from me, he ran my name and found I had a warrant.
So now that you're injured, I'm going to be taking you to jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mind you, the cop was apparently really cool because at the time I was working for Wallace Oil and I'd get home at what, like 7 or 8 in the afternoon, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And he actually stood there and waited for me to get home to load her in the police car and take her to jail.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, we had an infant, and the other option was call Child Protective Services.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
He didn't do it out of the kindness. He's like, I don't want to deal with the fucking paperwork. We'll wait.
Especially over something like this. Well, come to find out, my warrant was because I didn't pay for my ticket in Leesburg.
Weirdly enough, between that time and now, somebody was let go because funds kept going missing from Leesburg's municipality.
So were you compensated for your struggles?
Negative. We couldn't
No, we
prove
couldn't
anything.
prove that I had paid it. It had been over a year, so even if there was a receipt, it would have been long fucking lost. But so I got to spend a couple hours in jail, and it was actually the day Alec graduated from high school.
Nice.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Did
that.
I miss the graduation because of it?
No, we got there.
Yeah, you guys were there.
Straight from jail.
You had actually gotten off of work early because your brother was graduating. So I spent from like 4:00 in the afternoon to like 5:30 just sitting on a bench in the back of Crawford County Jail, twiddling my thumbs. But it was quiet, and there was no children.
Was it Mother's Day?
It was not Mother's Day.
Must have been a good day for the jail because it was never quiet when I worked there. Ever. There was always somebody detoxing.
The little brother of one of my friends in high school was in there.
Detoxing.
Off of meth.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, I'm both blown the fuck away and kind of relieved that they did her graduation. So it was my sister's graduation on Sunday, hence the Ferrari
Sister.
incident.
Yeah.
They do graduation on Mother's Day.
To be fair, I'm also quite impressed.
It only took an hour.
It literally took
It started at
At
5 on the dot.
and ended at 6
On the dot.
on the dot.
They were like, get the hell out.
And it was well done.
It was way better than mine.
And our school we went to was probably about the same size.
What do you mean?
Is Rogersville
Class?
a bigger school?
Yeah. Did you see the size of their class?
I guess so.
mean,
It's
there
like
was a-
twice, maybe 3 times the size of our class.
I guess so. But
There's a
still, they
couple of
used a
hundred.
college like stadium to do it in.
Yeah.
And like jury.
Oh, okay.
It was a little basketball arena.
It was nice. They did good job. Like thumbs
Yeah.
up. 2 thumbs up.
And it was
Yep.
simple.
Did a great job.
I
These kids
graduated-
did what they were supposed to do. Here's your piece of paper pie.
But
Yep.
they were like cum laude and all this other shit. Like they did it proper. They had different colors around their necks depending on like their achievements. And Bourbon, they're just like, here's your robe, walk across there, and we'll talk about if you got scholarships or whatever.
Maybe.
It was decent. I was
Yeah,
impressed by
like,
it.
I was very impressed because I graduated with 38 people and it took like 2.5 hours.
And there was at least 30
Why?
people
Not
there.
really. It was like an hour and a half.
Don't why? Bourbon's takes like 3 hours and there's 12 people graduating.
There
That's
was
because
60 people in my graduating
They
class.
do like 30 speakers on graduation night instead of breaking it into multiple days.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, they
Ours-
have their speakers go and talk to the students instead of like at the graduation. They do it like the day before.
Gotcha.
See, ours was a lot more personal too, though. That's why it took so long because they called each individual student's academic awards and accomplishments and etc.
Here they were like, if you got this, stand up. And then everybody clapped for him.
Yep.
I will agree.
And they said the names.
that Bourbon's is probably a bit excessive because it does take like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And my graduation from Missouri State with multiple hundreds of people took less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
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 And like,
Well, they spend 30 minutes trying to get the mic to work properly and then give up and start yelling.
yeah. Well,
Technical difficulties.
our graduation also is it's always hot as balls, and there's never enough seats for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Bourbon.
Oh, I went to that concert the other day for the kids. The last
Oh.
one they have of the season.
I was like, what concert did you go to, motherfucker?
Our children's concert.
The best one ever.
Yeah.
Obviously,
They actually did a great job. However, you know how they got the big fans on the wall that like open vents
Yeah.
and then sucks and pulls air in and outside.
Mm.
All the fans they've got around that motherfucker on each corner.
None of them were on.
No, they opened the one that shined the light directly into the player's eyes. And literally, even Mr. White, the fucking director, was like standing up there going, man, that's really bright. Maybe open the other side where the sun's not pointing.
Maybe.
Makes too much
No.
sense.
Do that.
Makes
No.
way too
We'd
much
rather
sense.
blind the children.
Literally, one of the children
They
was
should
sitting there like
know it.
hiding behind their music, ducking down to play.
Yeah.
It was Jesus Christ. But it has been a crazy couple of weeks. We owe you an apology because we did not get one out last week. And to be perfectly honest, this might be the one you get for another week or so. So we ask that you bear with us.
Well, this one will come out Wednesday, and then maybe this weekend we'll record one.
Well, that's the thing. I think we're going to transition over to season 3 at this point.
Oh.
And I think we should probably we got so much shit going on over the course of the next couple of weeks. It's just nonstop. I'm probably going to be starting my new job soon. Don't know what that is yet, but that should be coming.
A revamp.
Yeah. And we're going to, rework on some stuff. So I'll again mention the merchandise. It will be pulled down in the next week or two.
Yeah.
Because that's costing us more. Like we're going negative by putting the
I
merchandise
found
out
out
there.
that $1 for 3 months is actually a promotion.
Really?
Didn't up the prices. That was just like a 3-month promotion that you get when you first sign up.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. And the only people that have bought merch are us.
And Manny.
And Manny.
Yeah,
I was
don't
gonna
forget about
say, there was somebody
Manuelo.
else.
So if you get a chance, pick up some merch. Send a message to the Facebook chat so I know to process it because it doesn't even notify me whenever somebody's ordered something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron, what the shit? Why don't you buy merch?
Yeah, Ron.
Yeah, man, you'd look sick in a DFW AI Hatter shirt.
Your
probably
mom
get
would
the hat.
probably lose her shit. You're supporting that podcast that calls me Voldemort?
Oh, Lord.
Could you imagine the hell raised in that house after that?
Mom, that night, she was
Woo!
Spicy.
spicy.
She was spicy.
She had a few margaritas, and she took her medications right before drinking the margaritas.
She was
That's a
spoosy
bad plan.
for sure. And but it's funny because that shit just bounced right off me. Anytime she starts throwing her spice in my direction, it just bounces off.
Yeah, well,
And I think all of us kind of just, yeah, okay.
at a certain point, we just knew she was too far gone.
Yeah.
There was no filter anymore. The chunkler came off at one point.
Wow, Ghost is really just,
He's
doesn't
in it
Really
today.
distracted right now.
Doesn't
Yeah.
give a fuck today.
Playing
Is he
on
like
his-
like
working
he's
on something?
No, it
over
looks
there?
like he has hands in his pants.
Oh.
The fuck, man.
Can I join?
He's not even going to respond to you.
He
That means
Just
yes.
giving a look.
He shook his head no.
Uh,
I'll do it later.
the storms. Can we talk about those for a couple of seconds?
We've been having some.
I seen my
storms.
first nader.
You saw
You
one?
didn't
Yeah, I
see a
seen
nader.
it. It was a whole nader.
It was not a whole nader.
Okay, it was like half the nader, but it come right over the shop at work. Like it was spinning and shit.
It
Yeah.
was a funnel
Yeah.
cloud.
Oh.
Didn't.
Still a nader.
Yeah,
baby
you just
nader.
wait till you see a full nader. They're a little bit different.
Yeah, I had to go track that nader all the next day. I got paid double time for it though, so
The
I'm cool with it.
Were you just screaming into the sky, you're an asshole?
Fuck you.
And I was like, mirror.
when I see, I kind of said earlier that day, we ain't gonna get shit.
Yeah. No, he kind of said, no, you were fucking mouthing. Why are all these schools calling off today?
Oh my
for this
God.
bullshit. Like, we're not
Schools
even
in
gonna
St.
get
Louis called out
anything.
the day before.
They canceled the field trip the next day for Bourbon.
I get the field trip, I guess.
But canceling school because there's thunderstorms coming, like, okay, great. Yes, Missouri gets naders. And yes.
It wasn't just thunderstorms.
And yes, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas got 100
Texas.
tornadoes in less than a day.
who do you think has to pay if a child gets injured in a tornado in a school?
Alyssa, the chances of a fucking tornado hitting a school
Shit, I remember being in school and they had us lined out in the hallway with our head between our knees.
in high school, apparently they send them into the basement now.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they didn't do that for us. We are all in the hallways.
They said,
And
fuck you, get in the hallway and lay down.
in the middle school, they had them. But Like,
We went under the bleachers in the middle school.
and then they called it out early, which was understandable because the flooding was just
Yeah.
fucking insane.
I was gonna say around here that makes sense.
They
because
called it
flooding.
early, and they still, like, the staff still didn't get out of the school until like 6 p.m.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
because
I got an
the
email at,
people
like,
trying to come in
7:30.
and get their kids,
Oh,
and the massive flooding, like people were trapped and couldn't get their
I
kids.
couldn't get out of work that day.
What do you mean?
I was stuck in the quarry.
Oh, really?
The road was flooded over.
How'd you end up getting out?
I had to wait for it to go down.
Helicopter?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's
Just
baller.
lifted the whole car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just came over with a magnet, sucked it up, and dropped it off.
No, it was more of like a suction cup. Yep.
Gotcha.
Backhoe crossing bridges that probably should not have been crossed.
But the flooding was a bit excessive. It was kind of cool, though. I've seen flooding on that one in spots that I've never seen flooding.
Oh, that's not true. 2015, we had the major flood.
I've never seen flooding on Old 66.
I have.
Not like that. It was crossing over the road between here and Leesburg in like 12 different spots.
Well, do you remember the flood in 2015? That was over the Campbell Bridge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
one
that
pretty
was the
bad.
year.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what year we had the big flooding, and for some reason, Merrimack State Park doesn't have the
Record?
high water line
What the hell?
on the bridge anymore.
I wonder
Somebody
why.
stole it.
Yeah.
Or at least I looked and I did
So,
not see.
There was one, 2015 was really, really bad. And then I was talking to my coworkers and they said 1999 or 1998
That's the one-
was another really,
That one
really
was
bad
worse
one.
than the one in 2015.
They were saying it was almost identical.
The one at Merrimack State Park, it was over the bridge
Yeah. that
at
was
Merrimack State Park.
Yeah, that was 2015 too.
That one didn't get over that bridge.
Yes, it did.
No, it did not.
Not for
Yes,
very
it
long.
did.
The one in 19 whatever year, that one was over the bridge for like a couple days. But the one in 2015 was over for like maybe
Down
half a
in
day.
Sullivan, down 185.
Yeah. And it also stole a few cabins in 2015.
Huh.
That motherfucker.
Ripped them out of the ground.
Either way, that and so we got a solar eclipse in our area,
I thought we talked about that.
and then we've had the massive flooding, 100 naders,
Oh, I got something to talk about with the. I know what you're going to say next.
Yeah.
But I have something to say about that.
and then we got the aurora borealis,
The Northern Lights for you dumb people like me.
and that was just fucking awesome. Now
So-
it didn't quite happen like up in Alaska where you can see them moving, but if you pulled out your camera, you could see them a lot better.
People are saying, which I don't think it's true, but a lot of people are agreeing that this is what's happening. You know that thing that they say the government have that can control the weather?
Oh, good lord!
They're saying that that's the northern lights that happened here are because of that. They said the government.
This is not the
was
first
doing
time
it.
the northern lights have been visible that far south. First off.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Secondly, let me science you for a fucking second. Okay?
Science me.
Are you aware that the
forgot
North
the
and
daddy
South
at the
Pole
end.
flip every
Yes.
100, 200,000 years?
Yep. And I
No.
think it's happening.
It is happening. We're 750,000 years overdue for a polar flip.
That's why I don't
What does
think
that mean? What's
global
that gonna be?
warming
So
is
the polar
really
flip is
happening.
literally when the North and South Pole will flip spots.
Yeah, how they do that?
It has to do
Science.
with motion in the vacuum of space, blah, blah, blah. But anyways,
You
essentially,
know where it's not cold.
if you take out a compass from now, after that happens, the needle will literally point south
instead of north.
instead of north. But during the process of this flip,
So
it
we'll
can
just turn
take.
the paper around on the inside of the compass.
That's it.
Yeah, but we probably wouldn't survive.
Well, that's not true. It can take around 1,000 years for the flip to complete once it started. But the
No, we rely on
magnetosphere.
technology too much that relies on that magnetosphere.
So the dumb
We would all
people
die.
that can't survive without technology die. The magnetosphere that surrounds our Earth and protects us from solar rays, literally, as the stuff from the sun hits it, it filters most of the shit out.
Yeah.
During the flip, it weakens 90%.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
it's going to be hot as shit.
Which is why I think global warming isn't happening. I think that's the
That would
reason.
cause global warming.
I
So
know,
wait
but they're
a
saying
second.
it's because of the other shit.
Well,
I
it
think
is.
it's because of
CO2
that.
levels are way high, and because there's more shit hitting that, it's going to heat up the atmosphere faster than it would have naturally.
A concept that a lot of people fail to grasp that I like to point out is two things can happen simultaneously.
Right. I'm not saying it's not happening. I just think the two happening at the same time are the reason why it's so intense.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, okay, I get it. You know, you got political agendas and all this shit. But when every fucking scientist says global warming is real,
Yeah, no, that's why I said I don't think it's as bad as what they say.
and that the shit we're doing and polluting the environment is making it worse, you kind of got to go, well, every one of them? Yes, unless they work for ExxonMobil, they're saying this shit.
I need a roster.
Okay? So
So basically, what you're saying to me is, if this actually happens and it weakens 90%, the rest of the world is going to feel what I grew up feeling in Georgia every summer.
worse.
10 times worse.
It might
So
be 10 times
because
worse.
the magnetosphere has weakened, everybody's like, this is the strongest solar storm we've had in a long time. It's actually not. On the scale of like X
It's been
0
20
to
years since
X
the
like
last one.
10,000, there was one in 1859, and it actually had an effect on telegraph machines where sparks were shooting out of the wires and out of telegraph machines themselves, where it was an
Hell
X1000.
Hell yeah.
But technology wasn't so prevalent then that they didn't experience much more than issues with the
It wasn't
telegraph
that big of a
machines.
deal.
Right.
They probably just blame that on Frederick down the road fucking something up.
That was an X1000. This was an X30. In the last 10 years, we've experienced all the way up to an X6 or 700.
What was the ding?
It
What
came
was the
from that
name?
way.
It was from my computer. It's a notification.
Came from that way.
However,
Did you just?
It heard it in this year.
I only heard it in this year. too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
the reason we could see them is because the magnetosphere is so weakened already from the pole swap trying to happen that the radiation was able to get further into the magnetosphere
So what you're saying
and shoot
is-
further south.
We're all going to have cancer.
Probably.
Yeah.
Great.
We
We
already
probably
are
do.
probably going to have cancer.
Yeah.
Look, magnetosphere is weakened because of the X-Men.
Bum, bum, bum.
And now we have a new theory.
But why? Why conspiracy theories on every fucking thing that happens ever?
Because it makes life interesting.
It doesn't. It gets really fucking annoying.
Because those people are too stupid to do actual research. So they just do this thing where their mind comes up with an idea and it convinces them that that is how the
Well-
world is.
Well, my favorite thing about it is that it was on a post with like a flyer saying, "Oh, they're doing testing on that whatever it's called the technology to alter weather."
Oh.
They were doing testing on that, and so it was this flyer like, "Oh, on May 5th through May 13th, or whatever, we're going to be doing testing on this." So people were like, "That must be why we saw the Northern Lights."
Jesus Christ.
They did the testing right at the right time. Anybody can make a fucking flyer. I can make a flyer.
But can you?
Yeah.
Van made flyers the other day.
Let's make a new flyer and have it go viral.
I just
Some stupid ass conspiracy theory.
I just don't I can't anymore.
Why?
That would
It's-
actually be an interesting social experiment.
Let's do it.
We'll start.
And
a
it wouldn't
revolution.
be impossible to make a flyer and post date it.
No.
That's
Probably
oh my
what they
god,
did.
guys, this flyer was up here at this time and look what happened.
Look at
And I
what I
guarantee you
found.
motherfuckers would flock to it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
would just be all over it. I fucking knew it. Aliens.
Well, we already know aliens.
Butt
exist.
chugging aliens.
There we
Butt
go.
chugging aliens.
I have a invention idea, TM, beforehand. I need your opinion. Is it possible? Do you think it's possible? It's a little off subject, sorry. Gloves that surgeons wear during surgery, or like the people that help them and hand them stuff. Is it possible to make a glove that whenever it touches something that's like not sterile, that it would change colors? So then you know that you're not sterile anymore.
I mean,
Well,
sure.
I don't see why not.
I think this is $1 million idea.
You would have
Except
to make
for-
the tools reactive to it, but there's too much organic matter that they're messing with in the human body too. But go ahead.
no, keep going. I only deal with sterile fields every day.
Go.
Yeah, that's why I asked her, damn it.
I mean, I'm sure you could, but then anything that you touched, with the exception of your tools and the stuff that come out of the kits, would be not
Thought she
sterile.
said kids for a second.
So
I'm
did
like,
I.
Once you touch like the patient, you're no longer sterile, but your sterility is already like the patient's flora.
So what if like, because if you touch your face, you're not sterile anymore, right?
Correct.
So like, what if you had it reaction, like if you had it to where it would react to like your oils that like secrete from your skin? Because you don't necessarily touch the patient's skin,
Yes.
do you?
Yeah, you would.
You can.
Or you're touching
You-
their insides too.
You prep it before with chlorhexidine swab, which is now the like standard. They've moved on from alcohol and iodine.
Yeah.
Now we use chlorhexidine, but unless something goes through an autoclave, it will never be like perfectly sterile.
However, you could put an overhead projector literally overhead
Uh-huh.
with an AI model that literally watches hand movements. And if they touch something that would be classified as out of the sterile field, like their face, it could project red onto your hand.
Like a laser.
Correct.
Like a sniper.
Yeah.
And you could literally,
Just put it on their forehead.
and as the hand moves, the red would move around on it. And then you'd be like, oh, damn it. I must have touched something I shouldn't have. Take
Yeah.
it off. And
And that does happen. Like surgeons will be doing something and not even like realize, because this motion, like wiping something off of your forehead or like rubbing your cheek, it's all like subconscious. You
Yeah.
don't even
Basically
realize that you're doing it.
involuntary.
Yeah.
Right. The reason I was asking is because like people with, let's just say like an STD, like herpes or something.
The herps.
Like, you know, you got something on your lip and
I
you
have
you
those.
rub your face, not realizing
take
it.
care of that.
You can give it to the patient. So
What?
I was wondering if there was a way to be able to realize that you've done something like that, so you don't accidentally give the patient something they didn't have.
Like I said, you could do
Right.
like a laser projector that literally monitors. There's a camera with an AI model that monitors hand movement. And if it touches something that would be outlined in a not sterile
right?
deal, then yeah, you could have it indicate somehow
Fuck AI.
why.
Yeah. What she
Because they're
said.
fucking with my job.
I mean, you're not wrong. AI is definitely taking away jobs and messing with markets and things. And that's
Taking
only
away
a theory
my
that we have.
desire to do my job.
That's only a theory that we have, that is what is happening. But it
No.
makes sense.
It is what is happening.
Like you've confirmed that.
I've read the article that Smart Square sent to everyone without saying that it's an artificial intelligence model. They tell them that it's an artificial intelligence model.
Gotcha. So if
I mean,
they
it would
need-
have to be, because it's the computer deciding who goes where.
go ahead and explain what's going on.
So anytime someone picks up a shift on Smart Square, which is our scheduling software that we use,
Right.
there usually is an incentive. So if you pick up a shift with an incentive on it, it varies now. It used to just be $10 across the board you picked up on Smart Square, and if the hospital wanted to offer more incentive pay to pick up shifts, then the hospital would do it and they would put it on your check independently of Smart Square. Now they've put all of the incentives on Smart Square, and it varies based on when you pick up the shift. So if you are the first one at midnight on the day that it comes out and you pick up that incentive, you get $40 per hour
So people are just
On top
waiting.
of your
regular pay.
Shit.
So that's essentially, in the past, would be a $10 shift incentive from picking up on Smart Square and a CS3, which is $30 an hour for us.
However, you drive the trucks, right?
Yeah.
Are there people that are laborers that work with you that don't really have a CDL, can't drive the trucks, but they have to, operate a shovel?
Well, everybody that is employed at the county is required to have a CDL.
But let's
yes,
just
we
say-
do have technical.
Laborers.
Yeah, pretty much.
That really, maybe you have people that you wouldn't put behind the wheel
Yes.
of the excavator. Let's put it that way.
We do have those.
Now, let's say that your job had this and they could sign up for overtime because they needed another person next Thursday. And you're just going to work because Thursday is the day that you work, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's say that Thursday comes around and they float you to a laborer's position and now put the laborer in your truck because they picked up that extra shift.
Bullshit.
Would that make sense?
Nope.
That's what they're doing at her job.
Yeah. So I am ICU and step down certified, which means that technically I can work anywhere in the hospital. However, I prefer working in the ICU with the people that I have worked with for the last almost 2 years. in my environment where I know pretty much where everything is. But if I pick up an incentive, so based on which incentive you get, so if someone has already picked up that $40 an hour incentive and you've got a $10 an hour incentive now, that $40 an hour person, they will be floated to wherever in the hospital has the most need. So if cardiac is down a nurse and they have a full census and they really need that nurse, instead of taking one of the float pool that they're already paying somewhere in the ballpark of what I would make with that incentive and putting them there, they're putting me there because I'm receiving that incentive pay. So I'm getting punished.
They literally took somebody who really doesn't like have ICU experience, isn't like a constant part of that team, stuck them in her job in the ICU the other day and floated her, who's an ICU nurse, to another division.
This doesn't make any sense.
No. And that's why I say like AI modeling has a long way to go. And people are just like, yeah, fuck it, send it. We'll learn on the fly. We'll teach it on the fly. But her boss can't do monitor, change, edit anything that this computer does.
The house supervisor, so the person that approves the amount of nurses that are used every night, and like they initially were the ones who would deploy these people where they needed to go and like choose where people went. They are not allowed to do anything.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it doesn't.
It's not able to be changed whatsoever.
Nope. Because it used to be if I picked up a shift on ICU, my manager would go in and deploy me to the ICU. So my shift would always say 3 blah, blah, blah ICU. Now it just says location TBD until 5 p.m., which is after I can call in without getting a slap on the wrist. So I don't know until an hour and a half before my shift starts, or 2 hours before my shift starts.
Where the computer is going to decide she needs to work in the hospital.
That's stupid.
Now, I interviewed on Friday for a position in an ICU at another hospital. And they asked me like why I'm looking to change jobs. And I said, honestly, I really love where I work. The people, the team that we have, the environment that I work in, but administration is fucking with shit and it's pissing me off.
They're lacking.
And they were like, well, what do you mean? And I explained like what was going on. He was like, we tried that a couple of years ago, and what we've narrowed it down to is this hospital has 2 separate ICUs. They're like on 2 different floors. Now they will only float ICU nurses to the other ICU.
That makes sense.
It does make sense. And a lot of that is because as an ICU nurse, especially someone who has started as an ICU nurse with very little other experience in other parts of the hospital. So I constantly have patients on monitors. I can see the monitor from the window. I have all of this data that is coming to me from the things that these patients are hooked up to. You don't have that in other parts of the hospital. I'm not comfortable with that. I like to be able to monitor my patient's heart rhythm and like their oxygenation. And a lot of ICU nurses are like that. We like having the data. It helps us do our job better.
Yeah.
And, we're not used to having 5 or 6 patients. We are used to having 2, maybe 3 patients. It doesn't make sense to take someone who's in a very structured environment like that and send them to another part of the hospital.
And knows the patients.
Yeah. And that's another thing, continuity of care. Like if I pick up a shift on Thursday and I've worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, now someone else is taking over for a patient that I have known for the last 3 days and having to learn all new stuff about them when they could have just put me back in that shift and I could have that same assignment and continue the care.
Need to go back to having that as somebody's job because it makes sense.
Well, I mean, those people still work there. They just have less shit
anything
to do now.
Well, they can't change it even if they wanted to.
We are coming up on a time constraint here, but I do want to shout out Alyssa. We went and got scanned the other day.
Y'all got scanned?
The body one.
Which I have a scale that does all of that, but
She's down over 20 pounds.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Nice.
according to that, I'm down like 20.5 4 pounds or something like that, or 1.
Well, that's because when you finally scanned on the thing, but you're down more than that, right?
Yeah, I'm down like 22.
Okay. So nice job.
Congratulations.
I haven't worked out in a little bit because
Piece of shit.
shoulder and back, mostly back and shoulder.
All right.
Yeah, there we go. All right. However, I had one of the better scans that I've had in a long time. My weight went up. So the last time I scanned, it was 234 up to 237.9 up to 238.1. However, my percent of body fat is the second lowest it's ever been since I started scanning, 27.8%.
Not bad. Not bad.
And my muscle mass went up to 99.4 pounds. So I'm almost 100 pounds of skeletal muscle mass
Nice.
out of 238 pounds.
I got you beat.
Do you?
Yep.
How would you know?
I'm all muscles. Every bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking and I'm seeing, I'm catching what you're throwing down.
That gut is lying.
There it is.
Supplements that you take and the protein that you.
Hey, it's working. I'm getting more muscle mass. When I first started these scans, I was 97 pounds of muscle. Now I'm 99.4.
I started telling Callie where I messed up the other day.
Oh, yeah. Tell me that.
And we were actually at Supplement Superstore, and I ran out of vitamins that I just typically buy at Walmart. But I am picky about what vitamins I get. Like, I don't like the solid tablet vitamins. I like the gel caps or like the capsules that have the stuff in them because it's easier for your body to digest. So I got a new vitamin. It's, First Form brand. And I noticed the other night before I went to sleep that it said it has like an energy like blend in it to kind of help, with the pick me up. Well, the other night I took my vitamins and I took my Adderall
Math.
and I washed it all down with a whole ass monster. And about an hour into my shift, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm so...
And I checked my heart rate,
vibraty.
and it was in the 150s.
Nice.
And I
That's
was
like
like, all right.
That's like
Fat
my
burning.
running heart rate. That's like my running heart rate. That's
Yeah, it's a
impressive.
fat burning zone. You're good. Oh.
Yep. You should do that more often.
I can just imagine, like, everything she did. She was like, just fast as fuck, boy. Just go. All right, we got it. Yep, got him. Let's go.
It did feel very, like, weird. And, like, I felt weird, and, like, just my environment felt weird.
Didn't help you weren't in your normal
Yeah, it didn't
environment
help I
either.
wasn't in my normal environment. And I was like, man, what the fuck is going on? And I, like, did an ECG on my watch, and it was like, you have a high heart rate. And it was like 156. And I was like, what the fuck?
Fast as fuck, boy.
Math.
Let's go.
So now we take one of the vitamins instead of the 3 that it recommends.
Smart choice.
Well,
Yeah.
you just take them periodically through your shift. Like, do you still
Yeah,
get
but
that
I'm not-
dip in the middle of your shift where you start to kind of lull a little bit?
Yeah.
Just pop 2.
But I mean,
There's
I
your 3.
can. But taking it at the same time.
Yeah, probably not a great idea. Take 1 and then take 2 halfway through your shift, and you get, woo, boy.
So I bought that coffee thing that's like keto friendly. That hopefully when you went in the kitchen, you put in the fridge because we had a discussion about the stuff in
You
my
most definitely
lunchbox.
did.
I
not.
literally told you earlier that I didn't take anything out of your lunchbox.
And then
You
like
went to
a
the-
minute after that, you went into the kitchen.
It'll be fine. I'll put it in the freezer.
Anyway.
It's going to get left in there.
So I bought it last night and because it looked good. And I was like, oh, I'll drink this instead of drinking a second Monster. And then my brain went, this is how you explode your heart.
Yeah.
So I was afraid to drink it. I thought you were doing this.
No, I was not.
Oh my God, I got Alec with that yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah, we were at the graduation. I went, what's that down there? And right below his knee, like moved his knee and looked at it. And like, if you ever fuck with that kid,
The look
when
that
you
you're
know
giving-
you've got him, you can see his brain goes, I'm going to get that motherfucker back.
Contemplating ways to kill you.
he was trying to describe the look Alec was giving him. And I was like, he was so angry that he couldn't mask anymore. And the autism just showed through.
He's not autistic,
Yes, he is.
According to your mom.
No,
according to him.
according to our mom, he is autistic.
But she would never
When
tell
did she
him that.
accept that?
So I may have told on her on accident the other night. She
Yeah.
told me that as a kid, she almost took him to get tested. after the whole counting
Dots?
the dots on the ceiling thing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't supposed to tell Alec. And I
she
told
did.
Alec.
Oh
Right in front
no.
of Mom. I was like, she was like, you weren't supposed to tell him. And I was like,
Whoops.
I didn't say that.
But she didn't take him.
Correct.
He was just sitting there, and I watched him the other day. He was counting taps on his fingers with his thumb while watching the thing. And I don't even think he noticed he was doing it.
Probably not.
But his lips were moving as he tapped his thumb against his fingers.
Poor Bebo, since he's been here, has had to deal with not only me, but you. You do it too.
What?
When we're around Alec, he causes the tisms to come out of
Oh
us a
my
little
God.
more.
Does it?
I
yeah.
have never in my life seen a group of people just like cling to each other
And stem off of each other.
completely tism the fuck out.
What did I do?
It's
You
just the way we
tism.
act.
The way y'all acted was like the story your grandma was saying when your dad goes up and gets around his brother. They're like completely different people.
Yeah.
That's how y'all act.
But it's like our mannerism whenever we get together, it's like we're stemming off of each other.
Really?
We're just sitting there. Have you ever noticed it?
No, but I have an equal amount of whatever the fuck
So
he
we're
has
all
going on.
stemming.
Y'all look like a bunch of kids at Tourette's camp. You know, like one cocks their head, then the next one throws a shoulder roll, and it's like, bam. full
Really?
on Fucking
I've never noticed that before.
full
Because we're in it.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
I noticed it this time because I was
Did you?
trying to notice it.
What we were going to do to him at dinner was fucking wonderful.
It would have been.
It would have been. I know you got to get ready. We're going to
It's
close
fine.
up
I
here in
can
a
go
second.
get ready.
She had signaled to me like and I called her. She was at the other end of the dinner table, because, our large group, they sat us across the aisle from each other.
Yeah.
So she's like, call me. So I pick up the phone and she's like, hey, tell the guy I'm going to pay for mom and dad. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so the guy comes over and he's like, I was like, hey man, her over there in the corner, she's going to pay for these two. And he's like, okay, what about the rest of the bill? And I was like, fuck, I didn't think about that. I was like, I'll get these two over here, like Sarah and her boyfriend. And then I had the kids and me, which, God damn, I don't know how expensive your fucking bill was. Those motherfuckers got shrimp.
Yeah.
That was $28 a fucking pop. And then all of us got 16-ounce
Well,
sirloins.
if I had known that you were going to pay for their bill, I would have told you ahead of time what they had ordered.
Well, fuck it. It was her graduation night,
Yeah.
I'll just pick up another shift.
And the guy looks at me and goes, well, what about that guy? And points at Alec. And I was like, fuck that guy. He can pay for his own.
Alex just sitting there unaware.
He has no idea what's
No clue
happening.
what's
So
going on.
I just start cracking up laughing. And Kelly's like, what did you do? So I called her again. I was like, all right, texted you or called you?
You called me the second time,
Yeah.
texted me the first time.
And I was like, huh? Alec's going to get a bill, but nobody else is. And then Zach,
Sarah's boyfriend.
Alec got the bill, and I was like, I was just fucking with you, dude. And I ripped it out of his hand. He's like, what is going on right now? And Zach goes, I got that, and like pays for Alex. And I'm like,
What was the point?
let's just play a game of pass the bill.
was
I mean,
very
it's just
confused.
Christmas.
I guess everybody bought everybody's shit.
Yeah.
But Dad tried to pull a quick one, got up and like walked around and like
Yeah, we
handed
all
them the
saw.
card. He's like, don't let the bill hit the table. And I was like, you okay? So he like
already
sat down.
plotting.
I got up, walked around the corner, grabbed his card, and I was like, reached over the counter, tapped on Callie because like the pay booth was right behind where she was sitting. She hands me up her card. I put it down. I'm like, here's that one. I was like, I'm gonna need tap to pay for the other one.
Yeah.
But
So weird.
And Van comes walking back by, and Ron looks up and is like,
still
where'd
in
you
here.
go?
I'm working on it.
He's like, where'd you go? And Van like looks like a kid who just got in trouble. He's like, I was looking for the bathroom. Ron's like, "The bathroom's
I knew he
that
knew what
way."
was going on. So I was just like, I'm going to play this shit up. I was like, can't find the bathroom. And he goes, didn't you already go there? And I went, holy shit, you're right. It is back there.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he sits down. Never even tried to play it off like, all right, what? Now I'm going to go to the
Nah, he
bathroom.
knew.
Nope. He just turned around.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Good times. Great oldies. I'm going to go shower now.
Yep. I really got to pee.
Okay, well, let's shut her down real quick. Bebo, give him the deets.
Yep. So there's a thing under the thing that you're looking at, and there's some buttons you can click. You
There's
click those.
nothing under the things on the thing that I'm looking at because I listen on my car.
Ooh.
Well,
Good.
you're
Get on
just
your
shit
phone.
out of luck.
All right. Email us at dfwai.podcast@gmail.com. Click on the show notes. There's links to all of our socials. Boom. Yep. Got it. Go.
Wait,
All right.
wait. Stay tuned for season 3. Sweet Penis is coming out with merch
Maybe.
in season 3.
He's going to have to hand deliver it to y'all.
There's going to be
collect the
sweet
money
penis
himself.
merch.
Sweet Penis merch.
God damn.
Ron, you're first on the list.
We're going to get you some for free. We just need one that's like a name tag that says sweet penis.
That's it.
That's it. And then an eggplant on the back.
Yep.
I figured it out.
Damn it. He's going to know it's coming. Happy Father's Day.
You have the pea pod that, like peas come in.
Yeah.
And then down at the bottom, you've got like 2 little peas that have fallen out of the pea pod.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cotton balls.
That's perfect.
Oh, shit.
So it's a sweet pea and a sweet penis.
Yep. That's it right there.
Your Sweet Penis rolling out.
All right. We love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Sorry for not being around. We'll be back
Sometime.
soon. Watch, we're going to come out with one next week or something.
It's going to be
Probably.
another year.
Yeah, who knows? Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for being a friend.
Down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the
All my friends know the low rider.
It's too fast. How could you even tell what's on?
I can tell.
Damn Gus getting too
What?
fucking big for a belt buckle. I got to trade up.
Trade down. Smaller butt buckle.
A butt buckle?
Butt buckle.
A butt buckle.
All right.
I finally got enough ass that I don't need a belt.
But you do need a butt buckle.
I do need a butt buckle.
I broke my finger. Finger got stuck in his butthole.
Butt buckle.
Told y'all my booty hole was tight.
Moist.
That's actually how my finger got broken.
Moist.
moist.
In
Moist.
my butthole.
In
Moist.
in Dan's
Moist.
butthole.
Moist.
Moist.
I figured that.
Moist.
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 Bebop's over there like, what the
Moist.
fuck is going on here?
I was
Moist.
Moist.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
No.